Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
Few weeks back, I got a message from this boy in sort of tuta futa English. He writes to me saying, I'm an Adivasi. I would never have been able to become a lawyer, but if I hadn't seen that particular video of yours where you gave da 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 da, today I wanted to write to you and tell you that I'm a lawyer today.
You started something called as the learning tree. I think it's quite a shift from actually selling financial products and services. You now started training people who are in these banks.
Yeah.
So tell us something about that. And I also wanted to ask you if it has got any connection to your MBA degree, because your MBA degree was in HRM. Does that have any role to play in that venture of yours?
In the training venture. That was a big one, to shift from a job, teaching also, while I was a freelancer, it was a job. So I set up Learning Tree, which was primarily a training company, and like he said, my HR skills came in handy, marketing skills came in handy, and bank contacts came in handy. So I went back to all the banks, so whether it was Kotak or ICICI or HDFC Bank and a number of foreign banks. I had about 20 banking clients at the time. And I would do workshops for them, training workshops across various fields, not only marketing, banking, communications, blah, blah, blah. It was great fun to actually build content and to monitor feedback, see progress, see how the person moves from one level to the next, convert people into trainers. It was great fun. But what I discovered with MBA teaching and with the Learning Tree is that I'm training a very privileged lot of people. You know, when you do your MBA, you're very privileged, very, very privileged. And I felt that, is this enough? Or are these the people who actually need my help? Or is there a whole world outside of these people that actually needs a lot of help? The experience with training bankers was absolutely phenomenal, because it took me back to banking, combined my teaching with it, and gave me the ability to actually see how we could change things around. So with all the things I used to struggle with as a banker, I tried to change as a trainer to see if we could implement some of those ideas and help the banks move forward.
Today, it's like this in thing that, you don't need to work for anyone. You don't need to be part of any company. You don't need to build a company either. A single person can be a company, and you started that, 10 years back. So obviously, that takes us into, your current avatar, because I'm sure you will change something again over after a few years with ChetChat. And you are like a YouTuber, you have 600,000 followers. When is that day that you realize, okay, today I'm going to put out my first video?
Okay, first of all, how many of you are subscribers to ChetChat? Ooh, and why are the rest of you not subscribers? Exactly 10 years after setting up this training company, I started getting this kida that I'm training very privileged people. In IIPM, I remember, there was this student and who copied from another student, and I could called him into the exam room, after the exam room, called him into the classroom, and I said that, what do I do with your paper? It looks exactly like this other person's paper, so do you want to say something to me about it? So he said to me, my father is an income tax officer. I said, okay. And he said, you are a teacher. And he says, do whatever you want to. And I've never felt more small. And when he was leaving, I looked at his phone. It was 3 times more expensive than mine. And I came out feeling like a loser. And I said, being a teacher is a loser. Being an income tax officer, I'm not sort of casting as Persians that all bureaucrats are corrupt, etc. But just saying, I want to leave this at this point here. And I came away saying that, am I spending all my energies on the wrong set of people? So either I change myself or I change them, but this equation is not satisfying. And then I noticed with the banks also this was happening. I mean, they're great employees in banks and all of that, and they're busy with their schedules, but uh, I was almost like forcing them to learn. They were like, "हमको सब कुछ आता है, don't teach us." I was like, okay, we are spending hours trying to teach somebody. They don't want to learn. They feel they know everything. They feel they have everything. And we are zabardasti pakad ke classroom mein, please pay attention. And the first thing, so I remember these training programs, I used to walk in and I'd keep my bag and one person would come very excitedly towards me and I thought, oh, they really want to know about aaj training program mein kya hoga. This person would come up to me and say, ma'am, what time are we going to finish today? So I say, okay, I think the focus here is ki kitne baje khatam hoga. So around that time, it started bothering me. And as you get older, you keep having these thoughts about existential issues about मैं क्या कर रही हूँ अपनी life के साथ. And that's when I got sort of a session that we had. The IIMs organized a session in Bombay, which was an outreach program to a larger audience of students. And one of the students stood up and said that I really want to go to an IIM, but my father will never be able to afford it. Can you help us with that fee? Forget about 20 lakhs, he doesn't even have 2 lakhs. That moment was the moment when I said that my first few videos will be on scholarships. I don't know what I'm going to do with my 300th video, but I'm only going to make videos on scholarships and tell people how they are supposed to apply for these scholarships and how they are supposed to get in, because I think there is a problem here. And then again, I got this accusation saying, you're very elitist. You're only talking to people who want to go abroad. That's such a elitist thing, there are very few people, etc. So I said, okay, kya kare? You keep reinventing yourself every time you get feedback, you take the feedback. And then I started looking at Indian students, Indian content, how, to the point where, a few weeks back, I got a message from this boy in sort of tuta-futa English. He writes to me saying, I'm an Adivasi. And I would never have been able to become a lawyer, but if I hadn't seen that particular video of yours where you gave da-da-da-da-da, today I wanted to write to you and tell you that I'm a lawyer today. I will not take so much credit कि वो मेरे एक video की वजह से वो lawyer बन गया. But it really made me feel like whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. This morning, and I'm not exaggerating, this morning when I was driving in from Pune, I got a message from a girl, long message. She says, I'm from Afghanistan. And my parents, forget about affording education, they would never have allowed me to study. They didn't even let me go to college. I watched all your videos. And I had spoken about a Chevening scholarship to go study in the UK. I don't know if you've heard about it. Erasmus Mundus scholarship. There's a Chevening scholarship. So I think she picked up the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. And she sent me this message saying, I'm writing to you from Austria because I really want to thank you that today I've got a full scholarship and I'm doing this 2 years master's program and right now I'm in Austria. This message was worth all of that. That is the motivation behind setting up and continuing to run the channel. These messages that I get every day, that is what makes me run this channel every single day.
For somebody who wants to maybe start a channel of their own, right? At what point did you realize that, okay, this is here to stay or that this is working? Because I'm sure that not the first thing that you put out necessarily started doing 1 million views or whatever, right? So when is it that you realize, this is now, I've hit something?
Yeah. It's a very, very, very frustrating journey. I think all startups are frustrating. I feel like YouTube is particularly frustrating. I remember this other thing distinctly, that after putting up 95 odd videos, the channel was going nowhere. And 95 videos meant 95 weeks every Friday over here. 95 weeks, 2 साल होने वाले थे, and it was going nowhere. And I remember telling my husband at that stage, I want to quit this. And he said, okay, do 100. Just because even if you quit it, you can tell people that, okay, I made 100 videos. It's a number. Just for that, do 100. Uske baad you quit, no problem. And I think it must have been the 99th video that took off. And I'm a believer. And I saw this as a message from the universe saying that, lage raho munna bhai, chhodna nahi hai tumne. So I said, theek hai. Jaisi aapki ichha. My learning in all of this is that it depends.
See, that's what happens when an MBA becomes a YouTuber.
It depends on why you're setting up the channel. If you're setting up a channel for fame and money, wrong number. Wrong number, don't do it. It's a field where, like I'm saying, every Friday or Tuesday, whatever you choose, if you have to pick yourself up, there has to be something more than fame and money because of which you come back every Friday. So if there's some content that you want to make, that you seriously feel that this is what I feel is different from what the others are doing, and I want to put this content out. If you're led by that, chances are you might do well. But if you're led by, I want to set up a channel, I want to become famous, कुछ भी content बना लेंगे, देख लेंगे, then you might face challenges of motivation. I'm not saying you can't make good content, you can make amazing content. But it's the motivation which is the biggest thing. Is when you get beaten up, when you put up this amazing video. Trust me, it's happened to me multiple times. You think you've done a beautiful job, it's probably better than the previous 20 videos that you've put up. You're really looking at the screen after posting it, and after 1 hour it's showing you 1,000 views. And you're saying, kya ho gaya? Kya ho gaya? What went wrong? There's no answer. And you've got to put it just squarely behind you and say, Jane do, it's a black hole. I've sent it out. Jo hoga dekhi jayegi. I have to focus my energies on the next one. But you have to be so motivated about the next topic and the next idea. And if you can do that, it's yours.
So I have a question around the fact that YouTube as a medium now, I mean, everybody's trying to get on it and there's so much competition. Do you ever feel that you are in a domain or sphere which will probably not grow as fast as, say, if you were to do something on Bollywood, or if you were to do something which is connected to, say, cricket or football, things which are, watched or followed by millions and millions of people. Eventually, doing something around education requires a person to put in a lot of effort, and it's a mental exercise that needs to go in. Do you feel that there is any risk that, in the future, maybe that might affect you? So how do you go about this?
When I started off, everybody said, YouTube channel in the education space, terrible idea. Right? Comedy karo, music karo, makeup channel kholo, cookery channel kholo. What education you're doing? And that too such serious topics. You're not even making fun of the education system. Very bad idea. But yeah, तुम मेरे से comedy कराओगे तो 600,000 subscribers नहीं आने वाले, 6 भी नहीं आने वाले. So you have to first figure out what you can do and what you can't do. Clearly, I can't do comedy. Music तो मुझे आता ही नहीं है. Now what do I do? No, it's not about that. It's not that what can I do. I seriously wanted to do something in education, and everybody said you're a fool. Initially, it was very, very difficult. Till a few days back, I got a call from a PR company saying that you're in the exact right space. You're in the hottest space on YouTube. I said, really? Ye kab ho gaya? And she said, oh, no, I want to share with you that our clients, all the clients that want to sponsor content on YouTube are all edtech companies. Edtech is the new buzzword. So I was like, okay, I've accidentally landed in the right place at the right time, and I had no intentions. I had no clue. I have learned that as long as two things happen. One is you're willing to upgrade yourself, learn what's happening, get onto the new, wave, and keep improving and moving with the flow. If you're ready to do that. And two, if the core is very clear. My core was always, even today when I'm making a video, before I start shooting, I visualize this Adivasi student in front of me, swear to God. And I say, whatever I'm saying today, if it's going to help this child or that girl, then I will make this video, otherwise I will not make it. And every single piece of content that we make goes through that filter of this child, that is it really going to help him? So two things. The core has to be very strong, that why am I doing what I'm doing? And never lose sight of that. Just because what happened in between, shuru mein hota hai, you get very disheartened and you want to jump. So somebody said, do comedy. So I did this one video where I said, chalo comedy karte, try to karo. Try kare bina kaise hoga? You have to try. So I did this one video called 12 reactions to your admit card. I don't know how many of you have seen this.
I've seen this
You've
video.
seen this? So there's this video, go and search for it on my channel, where I said, admission letter aaya hai. Admission letter aaya hai, and I have to say this line in 12 different emotions. So I did this very excitedly. I did a happy emotion, a daddy emotion, a mother emotion, a jealous auntie, pummy auntie, ye auntie, wo auntie, sab kiya. I had put up that video and I said, if this video does well, then I am into comedy. The first few messages that came, madam, kya kar rahe ho? आप पढ़ाओ ना हमको, ये सब टाइम पास क्यों कर रहे हो?